Life often brings us to a place of deep reflection, where we wrestle with questions about direction, identity, and purpose. In such times, it can feel as though we are walking through shadows without a map, uncertain of what lies ahead. Yet there is a powerful and comforting truth that speaks into this uncertainty. Our lives are not random or accidental. Every moment, every step, is part of a carefully crafted journey authored by a loving and all-knowing God. Even when the road feels unclear or painful, we are being led by divine hands that see beyond what we can comprehend. This truth offers hope and assurance that even our hardest days are filled with meaning. Periods of confusion, heartbreak, and silence often feel like detours or delays. But in God's design, these are not signs of abandonment or failure. They are, in fact, essential parts of His greater purpose. These seasons shape us, deepen our faith, and prepare us for the fulfillment of what is to come. Throughout Scripture, we see this pattern in the lives of those God used mightily. Abraham was called to trust, without seeing the promise fulfilled for many years. Joseph endured betrayal and prison before stepping into leadership. Jesus himself walked a path of rejection and suffering before entering into glory. Their lives show us that the process often involves pain, but that pain is never wasted. One of the most profound assurances comes from Psalm 139:16, which says, "Your eyes saw my unformed substance. In your book were written, every one of them, the days that were formed for me." This verse speaks of God's intimate knowledge of us even before we took our first breath. It reminds us that the path we are on was known to Him all along. Even when it winds through deserts, disappointments, or betrayals, we are still right where we're meant to be. This path may not be the easiest, but it is purposeful, and purpose is often forged in fire, in seasons that test our strength, refine our hearts, and bring us closer to God. Trust becomes the anchor in these moments. When we cannot see the full picture, God invites us to take the next step in faith. He may not show us the entire map, but He provides just enough light for the step in front of us. Like the Israelites, standing at the edge of the Red Sea, we are called to move forward before we see the miracle. Like the priests stepping into the Jordan River, we activate divine power when we act in faith. God honors obedience, even when it feels risky or uncertain. We may look back on our failures, wrong turns, or painful choices, and wonder if we've ruined His plan. But the truth found in Romans 8:28 tells us otherwise. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who are called according to His purpose. Nothing is wasted. God takes what we see as broken and weaves it into something beautiful. The mess becomes a message. Philippians 1:6 further reassures us that He who began a good work in you will bring it to completion. God doesn't abandon the work of His hands. He finishes what He starts. This journey, while divinely prepared, is not always comfortable. It's described as a narrow road, one that requires sacrifice, holiness, and surrender, but it is also marked by divine peace, glory, and encounters with God's presence. The path is not only about reaching a destination, but about becoming who we were created to be. Through each trial, God shapes us into the image of His Son, as Romans 8:29 reveals. In the end, the message is clear: do not lose heart. Do not compare your path to another's. Trust that God's plan is still in motion. His promises are sure. His presence is near. You are guarded by His grace, guided by His hand, and strengthened for this journey. Every act of obedience brings you closer to the life of purpose and glory He designed for you from the very beginning.